All right, time to do some scissor arms. So the other day I was driving and made some weird noises, and I think my spring popped out. I've had this out a few times, so I'm gonna pull it all out again and show you guys how to do it. I did a ton of research trying to find how to pull these weird scissor arms apart, and I found like nothing on YouTube, so I figured I would make a video of it, show you guys how I do it. Don't know if it's the right way, but I can get them out. So they're kind of a bitch. It's really tricky. Door panel's already off. If you can't take it off, then or if you don't know how to take the door panel off, probably shouldn't do this. But yeah, so I'm gonna mount this camera up and get it all apart. All right, first things first, Phillips and a 10 mil. That's what you're gonna need. There's a Phillips right up here on top of the door. This holds in, I already took it out. This holds in this whole wing piece right here. Next thing you're gonna do, get your 10 mil out, start blasting these. This is an 8 mil right here too. You're gonna need to take that off. I just had this on because I'm redoing the door panels and I need to still be able to work it. So you have to take the handle off when you take the door panel off. Same with this guy, but I already did it. Alright, so now I'll take this crank off. It's an 8 mil. There's normally some spacers back here. Don't lose those. I already took them off when I took the door panel off. Alright, next, get your 10 mil out. And this is the scissor arms. This is like, there's these 4 10 mils right here, and that's what holds everything in. So I'm gonna take those off. You also want to, there's this bracket that sits right in here like this, or like this, and there's a screw that's a 10 mil, I believe, that usually, it holds the bottom of this rail to this slider in. Mine, the tabs broke off, so I got a nice zip tie holding it in, but I'm gonna have to pop that out for now. Alright, that's out, sort of. Alright, that's out. I'm gonna start popping these. And be very careful, because once you take these out, this window's just gonna want to drop. So it's probably a wise thing to do. Just lower it. Don't need so much potential energy. Alright, so it's lowered, and the window kind of sits on the top of that speaker right there. As you're pulling these out, you want to like put your hand back here and kind of hold the whole bracketry together so it doesn't just fall apart. Alright, so she's all free. So first thing what I would do is get this wing window out. So what you kind of want to do is push that bottom of the rail over. Take this trim piece out. Make sure you guys can see this. Alright, so you want to pop this little trim piece out right here so you can move the window over. So kind of push that bottom of the rail over, pull this, and I'll start to get out. Also, you're probably going to want to pop these out. They just pop right out. When they're a little wasted, that's okay. Alright, so now I want to angle this and kind of pull it up. Boom. There she is. And that's where that bracket would go, right there. There's a little hole for the bolt, but it's not there. Alright, put that inside, keep her safe. So I'm gonna pull this window out. And so there's these little, as you can see, the window sits on those little rollers right there. They go in those grooves, there's 2 of them. So there's a roller there, there. There's also one right here. You can kind of see it in there. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna try to wrestle it out now. Should be fun. Alright. So make sure you get it in the hole, obviously. And my rollers just popped right out of the window. That sounded great. Alright, she's out. There's the 2 rollers, or the sockets for the rollers, where they sit. Let's put that window in here. Alright, now it's going to pull all this bracketry out. So So those are the two rollers that were sitting on the window. Those are free. There's also another one right there. I don't know if you can see that, but it just goes, slide it out of the rail. Now your whole thing is free. So now I'm gonna pull it up and out. You have to get it through this hole right here. Spin those arms around to make it work. There you go. It's out. So now I gotta figure out what went wrong. All right, so what happened to mine? My spring popped out. It sits right in there. I'll show you guys how to do that. Put it back in a sec. But what I did before is I had this all apart, and this piece right here comes out. You can slip it on the groove. I've greased this up, make sure this was all good. When I first got the truck, some of these rollers were really freaking caked, so I cleaned them out the best I could. You can pop them off, and I cleaned them all out, greased them up a little, just help that window slide a little better. They're still not in the best. These are like $100 new, and they're all on back order, so they're pretty hard to find. So yeah, I'm gonna get this spring in here somehow. So you can see there's witness marks on this one side from where this piece was sitting, so I know it goes like that. Picture sits like that. So I need to crank. Roll it to there, make it easier. Now, boom. Alright, she's seated in there. So what's happening is it just kept popping out, so I suppose it would be wise to figure out a way to keep that in there a little better. Let me think of something. Alright, I couldn't really figure out a way to nicely hold this in, because that's what kept happening, is my spring would pop out and it would cause havoc. So I might just throw a little glue in that gap you put right there. Try to help it stay in there. Better than nothing, because it just kept popping out. Not that I would recommend this as to do any for everyone, but that's what I'm gonna do. All right, time for the fun part. I gotta put this shit back together. So what I would do, since it's out, put a little WD on all these little wheels, because it's just metal on plastic. Work them in there a little bit. Kind of get to them from the back side. Just help them slide a little nicer, because they're pretty rough. Oh yeah, now they're sliding better. So now, I'm gonna throw this puppy back together. So this is how it's oriented. This is how you want to put it back in. So what I'll do is fold this arm like this, kind of work it in there. Just get it sitting in there. Alright, so now what I would do is start throwing some bolts in, if I can ever find the holes. Just to get this thing hanging in here, we'll throw one in. There, to throw two in, so it stays centered. Alright, so I just threw two in by the crank, and I'm going to put this on so I can move it. So you're going to want to go all the way down with the window, so your little arms are way at the bottom. Now, throw this window back in. Don't drop it, Max. Put your hand under and catch it. Alright, so now I gotta get those little wheels in that groove at the bottom of the window. You kind of just gotta finagle it and work it in there. It's kind of a pain in the rear because there's not much room, but we'll get it done. Okay, that took way too long. So what I did is there's that groove right up here, and I put that wheel in first. So that one's sitting in the groove, and you just have the two bottom wheels loose. The window's in here right now, and so those two wheels are here and here. And what I'm going to do is kind of work the window onto those wheels from over here. And then you're gonna sit it, try to get it in that side groove over here. See how it goes. They're all in, and I'm holding the window against that seal over there. Okay, so she's in. All right, now, so you're gonna wanna keep it down, or just so the window's right up here, and I'm gonna slide that other piece in. And this is where it gets kind of tricky, because you're gonna keep the window in that groove when you go down. Go. Alright, so I gotta start it up here. Reach in there, see what it's doing. The very bottom of this track is gonna try to catch on everything. So you kind of got to work it in. All right, take 1000. Finally got it in. You got to be really careful because the bottom of this rail will try to catch on all the like brackets in the door. So you kind of got to work that in there. Got it almost in. And what I figured is the best thing to do is kind of slip it in there, get the window right here in the groove, and you'll kind of work it into place. Make sure you're getting in the groove and not getting caught on shit down here. So it's just about in now. So I'm going to throw the rest of these bolts in. And you kind of have to crank the window and move it around to get those holes to line up, and they'll go. Boom. Go ahead and tighten these down. Solid. All right, now I'm gonna throw this top screw in. Then maybe. Nobody saw that. Let's suck that wing window in. All right, so we're in the rail, we're in all the rails. Let's test it out. Oh, I need that. There we go, back together. I just gotta throw the door panel on, should be good to go. Door panel's easy, these things suck. So yeah, hope that helps out. I was really confused, I couldn't find any videos or anything on how to take these apart. So there you go. All right, one last thing. Put these in, those are easy, they just pop right in. But there's also this bracket down here that you need to put in, and it locks this channel from moving around side to side. So there's where it would normally sit, and there's a hole for it. Like I said, mine came off, so I'm gonna zip tie it, but don't forget to do that, and it should be good to go.